Okay, I call this my hall. It's not a big room. It's got a very small south-facing window. I had plastic on there. Well, technically I still have plastic on there to keep winter out, and I should fix it. I have... Is this baby tears? I don't know, but I like it. And we'll come over here. These are my Aralias. I've got a Ming stump, and then the parsley stump, and behind them I have a peperomia that I'm trying to keep alive. And I want to get a Fabian again. I really like the leaves of the Fabian, so we'll see what happens there. These are plants. The names are in my head somewhere. Agnominia? I think that's right. But that one's not going to tell me. I like I said, I like varying leaf formations. It gives me something to look at. This has got a little bit of a red or pink rust. This is a very dark leaf. This one rounder, and then this one is very light colored. And I just think that they're just, again, pretty to look at. And I group them together because they all have the same likes. And behind me on the floor, you're going to see another grouping. Up here on these shelves, there's a coffee plant, and this is where I keep my terrariums. And when I count plants, like I said, I've got over 300 plants in the house. The terrariums, I just counted as one plant each. Even though each one, like this one here, is a moss fern, is that what it's called? It's got the red underneath. It's just a really neat looking plant. It's all in there by itself. But then, like this one here, I have 3 plants, 4 plants. Some of them don't do so well, some of them do. And as, you know, summer kicks in, they'll probably take off really well. I have a cutting that I'm keeping alive. And one thing I found about terrariums, it is the best way I've found to keep the wandering Jew alive. You can see that. It's just a high moisture environment, and they do really well. This one up here, I actually glued the lid. I want to glue some more just to seal it and see what happens. And sound effects. Yeah. So again, I'm just playing with plants. Now the terrariums are not going to be your air plants. I mean, they're pretty to look at. They do really good in glass. But because they're encased, they're not breathing for you. But I like them anyway. And it's a fun hobby. And if nothing else, one thing I found, now I can't do this with the one that I sealed, but with the others I can get cuttings off of. So that as the plants grow and fill the glass, I'm going to be able to take cuttings of the plants that start overgrowing. But here's another grouping I was going to show you. This is my, I can say this word, aglaonemia. And it's the Chinese evergreen. They are very beautiful plants to look at. I've got a light pink, a green. That one's really hard to see in this lighting. Well, with my shadow anyway. It's got this really beautiful variegation on it. Next to that is one with red veins, a pink, a green with white, and then a longer silvery looking one. Again, I can't tell you exactly what they're all called. But I found them online. Well, these I actually bought in the plant store. I found their lookalikes online, and so I know that I can find the names. On here, I like the word experiment a lot because I don't know how things are going to do. So I bought this wall-mounted planter. And it's made of felt. It's got a plastic liner on the back so that the water doesn't hit the wall. Just bolted it in. But I've got a couple of, I think these are called star plants. And this one looks like it's dry. Oh, it doesn't even look like it's in the dirt. They have very, very shallow root systems. So they are more succulent. I keep this pot dry. This is embarrassing. I have some dead ferns here and here, and then this kangaroo fern seems to still be alive. And so hopefully it comes in and maybe fills it up, or I find a couple more of them and put those in here. Here's a philodendron. I took this from cuttings from a plant that's in my kitchen. And then a satin philodendron. And then these will vine out and droop as these will kick up. And so, like I said, it's all experimentation, seeing what works and what doesn't. But that's the haul. There's really nothing in the bathroom, literally. I don't have any plants in there. It has no windows at all. Up here on the shelf, a couple of spider plants. Again, you can see with this one, it's got that center variegation. And the one next to it is a darker green, but it has a light variegation. So again, just geeking out. Up here, there's a neon pothos. And then these babies came off that mother plant that was in the office. There's the worm bin we've seen in another video. And at its feet, here's another alocasia, another elephant ear. This one I had outside. And I took off a couple of tubers. One of them is down in the basement, being dormant. This one I brought inside, and one of those stems is doing poorly, and this one I found and put it in here, and it's doing good. It's got a new sprout coming up, and it is what is today, 22nd of January. The cacti in the back, another pitcher plant. This is in my kitchen, an aloe. This is Brahmi. Brahmi likes to stay very wet, so the pot doesn't have any holes in it, and I just keep water in it. Here I have a poor looking desert rose. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I actually do know. I overwatered it. But I think it'll come back. Mint. And then a palm, and I forgot the name of this palm, but it's a beautiful specimen. Except for this leaf. That's the new one, because I had it too close to the window and it burnt. And my rosemary that was outside that I brought in. And then these terrariums have no lids. And the plants just exploded out of them. That was a pitcher plant. Now it's the carcass of a pitcher plant. And I'm going to do something else with that pot. And again, this is the other terrarium without a lid, and the plants just popped out. And I've got cuttings of the Wandering Jew, some different ones. Again, you can see the colorations are very different on each plant, and so it gives me something to look at. And I've got some cuttings in here as well. There's an enjoy, there's a mother-in-law's tongue that I'm trying, and a peperomia japonica stem cutting that is looking pretty poor. Hopefully those will make it. Up on my shelf in my kitchen, I have that philodendron that I've taken cuttings from. You can see how I've just kind of matted it all together. It is not an attractive display. Like I said, I'm not the best at making things look good. So someday I probably will be. Not today. Right now it's knotted up with this golden pothos here, which is actually the oldest plant that I have, and I've had it over 27, 28 years in the same pot. I've put new soil in it once, and it's just a monster of a plant. It keeps coming back. And then back here I have a pilea, and it seemed to do, well, I'll just say it crapped out over the winter. We'll see how it does in the summer. So yeah, anything else in the kitchen to show you? I don't think so.